7081. Get around. Передвигаться. Get around. How do you get around the city? Как ты передвигаешься по городу? How do you get around the city? Interchange. Взаимообмен. Interchange. We had an interchange of views. У нас был взаимообмен взглядами. We had an interchange of views. For instance. Например. For instance. Take our town, for instance. Возьми наш город, например. Take our town, for instance. Insufficient. Недостаточный. Insufficient. Her salary was insufficient. Ее зарплаты было недостаточно. Her salary was insufficient. Sufficiency. Достаточность. Sufficiency. There is a sufficiency of workers. Имеется достаточность рабочих. There is a sufficiency of workers. Insufficiency. Недостаточность. Insufficiency. We have an insufficiency of data. У нас недостаточность данных. We have an insufficiency of data. Invulnerable. Неуязвимый. Invulnerable. He is in an invulnerable position. Он в неуязвимой позиции. He is in an invulnerable position. Vulnerability. Уязвимость. Vulnerability. He says vulnerability is not weakness. Он говорит, что уязвимость – это не слабость. He says vulnerability is not weakness. Invulnerability. Неуязвимость. Invulnerability. He talked about invulnerability. Он говорил о неуязвимости. He talked about invulnerability. Sailor. Моряк. Sailor. He worked as a sailor on a ship. Он работал моряком на судне. He worked as a sailor on a ship. Примеры. How do you get around the city? How do you get around the city? We had an interchange of views. We had an interchange of views. Take our town, for instance. Take our town, for instance. Her salary was insufficient. Her salary was insufficient. There is a sufficiency of workers. There is a sufficiency of workers. We have an insufficiency of data. We have an insufficiency of data. He is in an invulnerable position. He is in an invulnerable position. He says vulnerability is not weakness. He says vulnerability is not weakness. He talks about invulnerability. He talked about invulnerability. He worked as a sailor on a ship. He worked as a sailor on a ship.